You know it.
Oh wait, did you press record?
Yeah, it's recording right now.
Oh.
I did indeed.
Oh,
we are currently recording. Yeah, amazing.
I had no idea. He has the door opened, so you're gonna hear cars.
Can you believe somebody left a comment on some ancient video of ours saying, needs more background hum?
I thought you were gonna say needs more freaking cowbell.
No, well, I'm sure that's what the person was referencing, but yeah. I'm still recovering, by the way, so, you know.
They know you were sick?
Well, they do now.
Okay.
I was sick for like a week. Like, how much? I slept most of the weekend. It was really bad, but it wasn't COVID. That's a good thing. So anyway, I sound like I'm at death's door, but currently I don't believe I am.
That's good.
I don't think I am. You never know.
Well.
Ask not for whom the bell tolls.
Okay.
Do you want to do it?
We'll do wrist check.
This time we did it first. So we know what we're going to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah. Well, wrist check.
Yep.
Who wants to do it?
I will. Where am I? Oh, there I am.
There you are? Oh, yeah, this is, I've gotten rid of most of our Rolex. This is Sabrina's. I built this for her out of parts and bits and things that I found. But the movement is beautiful and it keeps great time. So I really like it. I went through it recently and I put the correct top hat magnifier crystal on it. And I just looked at the case and everything. It's a nice watch.
Yep.
It's not a museum specimen, but the great thing is you can wear it every day.
Exactly. That's what I've been doing.
Every single day. Because you know what? A watch, if it isn't a tool watch, then it's just fancy. I am wearing one of my absolute favorite watches. 6138 7000 slide rule chronograph with the cursor. We make these, by the way. Not many people wear them, but we have the ability to have these recreated. They're the closest to the original cursor rings that exist. The originals were slightly blue, and I've considered having a second batch made that has that. Other than that, this one was totally restored by me. This is an NOS calculator bezel. That's a slide rule. And so it's the original dial, but I had to relume it completely, relume the hands because it was junk. The case was beautifully relapped. I built the movement basically from pieces and parts, and I made myself a watch. I love this watch. And the strap is from an SNK 809. And it's a beautiful woven strap. I love these. They're really nice and soft and even. And they have this edge sewing that gives it these couple little ridges there. It gives it a real clean, dressy look. I also take, though, the inside of this strap, these kind of field straps, they have these like leather reinforcement things. I just don't like the way they look. I think it's just not for me. So thankfully, though, the strap is reversible. So I just flip it over so I don't have to see it. The last thing is I'm considering changing out the media blasted keeper loops, but so far it hasn't bugged me, so who cares? Anyway, what a great watch. I love everything about it. I love everything about it. Okay, cool. So times changing. Sabrina put on Disco Inferno, which when I was a teenager would have made me feel physically sick, and I was sitting there humming along.
Well, you were literally saying, burn, baby, burn.
Burn, baby, burn.
So what was I supposed to do?
I don't know, what do I know? It makes me think of Ghostbusters.
Is this like Grand Central Station? We live on a cul-de-sac and everybody drives.
I don't know, sometimes it's nuts. It's like, what the hell?
We're busy looking out the door instead of doing the video.
Well, the great thing is instead of looking out the window like I normally have to, we got the door open, so it's like...
even more distracting.
Yeah, the great thing about this, actually, you came up with the best possible description of garage life.
Oh, it's like being outside without the commitment.
Or like super camping.
Yes, like super camping.
Yep, we're roughing it out here.
Oh, absolutely.
It's true. Well, it is Friday. It is September the 9th. Friday the 9th. It's the first day that feels like fall. It's been just balls hot here. Mm-hmm. What did Robin Williams say once?
I don't know. He said lots of things.
Crotch pot cooking. It was in Good Morning Vietnam.
I only saw that once, like a million years ago.
That was part of the whole, like, 80s Vietnam movie extravaganza. I saw it in the theater. I don't remember it. I don't remember disliking it. I think it's probably pretty funny.
Yeah, I remember thinking it was an okay movie.
I don't remember the plot at all of that.
He was like a radio person. Okay.
Oh, if you have a chance, speaking of the Emperor, there's a couple pictures I saw for the first time I'd never seen before from some of the new, the Obi-Wan show. It's 2 shots of Hayden Christensen as Vader, basically, but without his helmet, but the rest of the entire Vader outfit, and his entire head had been done to look burned, so even though you couldn't see it because of the helmet, it was all done. And with his helmet off, standing there with his white burned skin and his strange eyes, it was the very first time that I can remember looking at Vader and saying, "There's Anakin."
He did say that.
Mm-hmm. I've never been able to make a connection between Vader and Anakin. But lastly, about that really transforms it for me, I want to put up an old quote from George Lucas regarding Anakin and being saved from Revenge of the Sith. I'm going to put that in. This quote is from The Making of Revenge of the Sith, George Lucas, page 221. It really has to do with learning. Children teach you compassion. They teach you to love unconditionally. Anakin can't be redeemed for all the pain and suffering he's caused. He simply doesn't right the wrongs, but he stops the horror. At the end of the saga, it is simply Anakin saying, "I care about this person regardless of what it means to me. I will throw away everything that I have, everything I have grown to love, primarily the Emperor, and throw away my life to save this person. And I am doing this because he has faith in me. He loves me despite all the horrible things I've done. I broke his mother's heart, but he still cares about me, and I can't let that die." Anakin is very different in the end. The thing of it, the prophecy was right. Anakin was the chosen one, and he does bring balance to the Force. He takes the ounce of goodwill still left in him and destroys the Emperor out of compassion for his son. Because it makes Anakin Vader make a lot more sense to me. And his redemption. Because it's like, what's that?
Okay.
All right, let's go. Let's do it.
Yes. Okay. So first off, the website works now. Sorry about that. Apparently I have to say that.
Yeah, everybody, well, I mean, it was just a thing. We're trying to change what we're doing, and
Passive income.
we need passive income.
And I don't know what I'm doing, and Squarespace is annoying, so I'm kind of figuring things out as I go, and I have other stuff to do, so then I'm like, you know what, I don't care, and then I fixed it.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, the ads got turned on. I didn't help at all. What do I know about anything? I was probably staring at the ceiling. But she started it up, and it had all these crazy ads everywhere, and we made $9 in the first day.
Yes.
Do you know how much we make from these videos? Pennies a day, maybe. I have 13,000 videos. If I'm
You have 13,000. You have 13,000 subscribers.
I have 13,000. I have many videos though. I
was gonna say.
I have over 1,000 videos.
Yeah, but 13,000.
Whatever. It's a lot of videos, and you know what we get for it? Well, we get publicity. Yeah. But money-wise, we get like $100-something on dollars a month, maybe. But
Okay.
we don't make them for the money.
Nope.
Anyway.
Okay. From Danny Gianetti.
Hello, Mr. Gianetti.
Are you taking in more requests to service watches?
Yes, but also no. I don't know, I'll just recap this for everybody. So the deal was, should I go over the whole thing, or should I just say, I'm taking jobs as they come?
There, you said it.
I'm taking jobs as they come. I can't take everybody's job. I simply can't. And so I'm going back to my own system, which is we have a new job board, we have a new job log, everything's listed up there. I have a max number of jobs that we can have in the house. Sabrina set this whole thing up. We've got a whole ordering system for the physical jobs to make sure everything's in line and checklists, and I used to do everything in my mind, which doesn't work. So basically the deal is I think we have set that I'm never going to have any more than 10 jobs in-house, and that I'm not going to take any new jobs until the 10 are done. And then when the 10 are done, I guess I'll see if anybody's looking to have anything, worked on or something, and then I'll go from there. It's impossible for me to do everybody's work. It's
That
simply
was a
impossible.
nightmare.
I know I keep saying this. I don't think some people understand or believe me, because I was afraid. I was like, starting a new business. I'm like, man, I got to take in everything because I'm terrified. I don't want to, I'm supporting my family with this. Geez, I got to make sure I got some padding. And so I said yes to everything. And I finally, at a certain point, I was like, I can't do it. I can't take any more. And then I counted them up, and I had 197 customer jobs in-house. That's not watches, that's separate customers. And a lot of those jobs were multi-watch jobs. It took me 4 years to clean that backlog. I'm never doing that again.
I had to yell at him to stop taking everyone's request.
Yeah, so it's gonna be 7 jobs or 10 jobs or something, but we're gonna keep that tight, and that includes like little things. You want a battery changed? That's one of the jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really annoying. I apologize. There's no waiting list. I don't keep a mental list of anybody who is waiting for something. There are people who've been waiting for years to get servicing done by me, which, I feel badly for them. Thankfully, I think there's more people doing this work now, and they may not need to wait on me, but there's just no way I can do everybody. And, there are people who've written me and be like, I've been trying to get a watch in with you for 3 years. When are you going to start taking work? Somebody who talks to me like that will never get a watch in here. Never once. Never again. Hey, if someone's going to be a dick to me and feel entitled, well, why haven't you taken my watch job yet?
Why are you with these giant gestures?
Why not? It's circus grade acting. That's what the world needs today. Okay, let's go.
Hold on. Okay, from Sammy Six Toes about the Burke video.
Sammy Six Toes?
That's what it says.
That sounds like something out of Casino.
I know. I went from Danny.
There are a lot of holes in the desert.
I went from Danny Giannetti to Sammy Six Toes.
Isn't that a great name?
I can make fun of Italian names. My maiden name's Palumbo.
She's Sicilian American.
No, I'm not. I am an American.
Well, whatever. Yeah, but I grew up in a white America, so I just think, I don't know, I've always had a thing for, Italian stuff. That's why I was a Vespa guy. What?
Anyway, from Sammy Six Toes, I was hoping it wouldn't sell before payday, but I grabbed this one early this morning. I'm very excited to kick off my Aliens collection with the Burke. I've been hunting one for a while now, and they don't come up often. To have a restored example was an opportunity I couldn't pass up. As an 80s kid, this watch will wear great while driving my 1988 C4. I'm also a fan of the movie franchise, so I'll be getting the, how do you pronounce it? The other one.
What, the pulse meter?
No, not pulse meter, the other one.
Oh, the GRO speed timer?
There you go.
I do have one other Aliens watch. It's not complete. It's missing it's a good original Black Ripley. Now, the Black Ripley, the one that Ellen Ripley wore, Sigourney Weaver, was stainless satin finished with orange and gray dial. There's a Black Ripley, is what they call it, and it's black PVD. So it's a coated black case. It was in Aliens, but it's in one of the outtakes. It's in some cut scenes. And if you watch the full, the long, director's cut with all that stuff back in, there's a number of different Seikos you can see that people don't realize were in it because they were in stuff that ended up only in the special edition. So anyway, if you want a Black Ripley, I could restore that one. It's pretty neat. Doesn't have a bracelet, but could do it. Then you could be like, you know what? This isn't just a Ripley. This is a Black Ripley.
Okay. Riley Senecal. I just picked up a 6309 from a garage sale for $10. Super happy that it's legit and appears to be all original.
Only Seiko I ever found at a yard sale or anything, it was actually an estate sale. And it was a Seiko A. I'd have to go inside and get it, but it was a JDM Silver Wave LCD watch, but it was like
What estate sale is this?
oh God, it was the last time we went to an estate sale. It was like 5 or 6 or 7 years ago.
Was it?
It was
like,
over there.
Was it like a house that was kind of big and a lot of white walls?
I believe so.
Furniture. And...
Oh wait, I lied. We
what?
have gone to another estate sale since then. That's where we got Sadie's bed. But this is
I didn't go to that one.
Oh, okay. So the one you remember is the one. Mm-hmm. Remember you walked in and the big living room had like cathedral ceilings. Mm-hmm. And they had folding tables set up with like plastic totes full of crap, including, junk drawer stuff. And I looked at it and I flipped it over. He must have bought it, or it was bought for him in Japan, and he never wore it. It was in excellent condition. And I bought it for, I think it was $20. That's it. I've never found anything else.
Okay.
So congratulations.
Yes. Bruce Barlow. Good to hear the young apprentice getting his hands dirty. He'll be onto watches next.
Yeah, Sebastian was helping me. He was telling me what was up with the MG and what we were going to do to it. Because he wants a giant hood scoop, and he wants racing stripes. And the wheels on the MG, he wants them to stick out from the car.
Oh, like that Miata we saw this morning?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what he wants. He wants a big old hood scoop, and there's some other stuff. Oh, and he wants the hood lockdown things, with the pins, like, Dukes of Hazzard, that kind of thing.
I think somebody should have got him a giant American 70s car.
I would have loved to, man. I would have loved to. I found that all original, untouched, still with the original family, 1960 Thunderbird, and it was in like this the original like.
I didn't say 1960. I said the 70s.
In any case, in 1960 Thunderbird, the original owner actually he had passed, but his widow and their kids were selling it in original turquoise. One of the few non-white colors I'd be down for, but it was turquoise with I believe a white and turquoise interior. It was really cool. They got it out of the house and they got the thing running, and they wanted like $1,500 for it. This was just a few years ago. And I'm like, what do I want with a 1960 Thunderbird?
Well, all I know is what Sebastian remembers from getting the MG is the car next to it.
Yeah, it was a Z28. So wasn't a great car, and the guy wanted a lot of money for it, and he didn't have the title, so we passed. But someday, Sebastian's going to get a Firebird. That's what he wants.
Anyway, back to the thing. Love the MGs. Plenty of them on the roads down under, and regularly see MG Car Club meetups on Sunday drives at the beach near me. Mordor and Darkland awaits your arrival. Take care from New Zealand.
Yep, cool. It's nice to see they're still chugging around. I look at car collector pages and folks back home in Great Britain they still are finding them. And
what did some random dude, like, we were out here because we kind of hang out here a lot, and he was like, whoa, about the car, and then there's
he was like biking by.
Yeah, and there's like 3 other MGs like within a 2-block radius.
Yeah, he was like, hey man, is that an MG down for the street? I was like, yeah, sure, man. He's like, you're the 3rd MG on this street? I'm like, well, I knew there was one kind of down the way. He's like, I'm just down there. So we should start having an MG meet. Mm-hmm. Start doing donuts.
Could you imagine?
No, I don't think MGs are capable of doing donuts.
No.
They could probably go in a fairly tight circle, maybe kind of quickly, and they'd lean over a lot.
Okay.
You could probably do it, though, but it might have to be a big intersection with no traffic.
Okay. From Tim Holton. Spencer, my old neighbor back near my mom's house, had a GT6 GT which I believe was much like this car except with a straight six. My first car, which was sitting derelict in my parents' driveway at the time, was a 61 Falcon and a straight six, and I was obsessed with straight six engines. Neighbor ended up selling the MG and bought some kind of Datsun Z car with another straight six. This was in early 1970s, of course. Before these beautiful cars rusted away to flakes here in Minnesota. Good luck on the car.
Thanks, man. I love straight sixes. Actually, the only straight six I ever owned was my '68 Dodge. It was a Dodge two-door post, original metallic brown, but it had the slant six. Unkillable engine. I had a friend back in the day who had an old. It was an earlier Dart that had the slant six, and she drove it and drove it and drove it and drove it, and she tried for years to not to kill it.
Who?
Liz.
Oh.
And she drove it, and it was her surfing car, and then eventually it just wouldn't die, and she had to upgrade it, and she sold it to someone, and as far as I know, it was still chugging around. My Dodge is still around in San Francisco. People still see it.
Okay.
Great engines. Oh, but yes, you said MGC. Yeah, they came out with they tried to make a performance MG. Instead of a 4-cylinder, they gave it a straight 6. Problem is the straight 6 cast iron was really heavy, much heavier than the stock engine, which is already too heavy. But then they didn't modify the front end, so it was really kind of sloppy and gross. And the added power from the extra 2 cylinders was not enough to overcome the extra weight. So they were just dogs. Pretty though.
Cars are boring. What? Don't tell Sebastian I said that.
Oh, come on.
He'll get it. What? I don't know what.
I'm not going to tell him that his mother thinks cars are boring.
No, I'm just saying I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't either.
Snack Lofter. Hi guys, I'm fascinated by the Seiko Baby Morpho 3803 7080. Thoughts, opinions, ever owned, worked on one, best wishes. I looked it up because I was like, what the
Wait,
is that?
should we stop this and I'll insert a picture?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to stop this and we're going to insert a picture.
Yeah, but it's got that crazy crystal.
Has the crazy crystal, but the real big deal. Sorry, we started talking about it. If you look at the dials, Seiko has always done some cool things with dials, but starting in the quartz area, like this one's a
3803 7080.
Yeah, they have those early and mid 70s quartz watches. Seiko was still swinging for the fences with those. That was still the high end option. They were more expensive than the mechanical models.
Yeah, look at that ridiculous crystal.
Oh, look, it's an asymmetric case. Yeah, I didn't look at the side. Wow, that's wacky.
Insert another picture here.
I will insert that picture right here. And they love doing these kind of rumply sort of Japanese aesthetic dial patterns, which is cool.
Well, why wouldn't they?
Why? No reason not to, but it's really wacky in 70s. But the movements are actually really, really good. They are all metal. They're super high end. They have some really interesting tech in them, and they were absolutely designed to be serviced. They're high end things, and it was at the time the glorious thing about quartz that they talked about. Total accuracy, right? What's horology? Besides a good weekend. Horology is the study of making accurate time measuring, right? Quartz watch, the only way to do it. And Seiko was all like 1 tick per second accuracy.
I'm just trying to not, laugh to death.
It's not a subject that I've ever studied.
That's good.
So I'm only speaking about it from what I've gleaned from.
Okay. Anyway, can I carry on?
Every single day, in every single way.
Garrett Jansen. Hey S&S, would you be willing to sell some of the arbor jewels you use for the 6000 series chronos and world timers?
Absolutely. The thing is, when we first had those made, we went in with Daniel Blair of the Blair Watch Project, because he and I have been working together, and he's a real good dude. And we all know that the 6000 series, one of the one of the cost-saving measures that Seiko used was to not put in a lower mainspring arbor port jewel. And the mainspring arbor, it's like the axle that the mainspring barrel turns on. Imagine the big round mainspring barrel here. This is the mainspring arbor. So the barrel this is constantly turning because it's constantly winding the mainspring, which is inside the barrel, turning and turning and turning. And the barrel is turning and turning as well. And because it's automatic, this is always turning. This thing is stainless steel, the arbor. The pinions of it that rotate the bearings, basically, it's just brass. Literally, the lower one is just brass. And the torque and the push from the mainsprings, they're really strong. The 6000 series have really strong mainsprings to overcome the size of all the wheels and the internal geometry. As a result, the lower mainspring arbors just grind out into a big oval. And so instead of being straight up and down like it's supposed to, it starts to tip. No, it starts to tip. Like if this is the crown of the watch and that's the top towards you, it starts to tip like this, and it will grind this into an oval. And if it gets bad enough, the plane of the mainspring barrel will tip up, and it'll start hitting the underside of the train bridge. If it's really bad, you'll start to see the ratchet wheel on the top grinding out to the brass on the top. So the way you cure that is you put a jewel in there. It makes it last a lot longer. It's important. Basically, every 6000 series needs one. So anyway, Daniel Blair and us, we went in on them actually with the goal of selling them. I was nervous about selling them only because installing them it's a little tricky. There's a lot of things that can go wrong real easy. I mean, I've been installing these things for 10, 12 years. I still crack them. Not often, but I do. So I was afraid that we would sell these things. It's like you get your part in the mail, man. You've been waiting for it for days or weeks. Oh yeah, man, my part's here. Cool. I'm gonna do it. Snap. I've done it. Jonathan sent me a new old stock Pogue crown way back in the day. It was his last one. I over tightened it on the stem, snapped it off, and I was like, and I wrote Jonathan, I screwed up, and he was like, it's done, the part's done, and I don't have any more. It's just crushing frustration and disappointment. So I mean, we could sell them, but I mean, then we couldn't. I'd just be afraid that everybody be smashing them or snapping them. So Daniel Blair, though, he thinks that it's maybe better to do that. So maybe I should talk to Daniel Blair and maybe we think about doing it. Mm-hmm. It's just there's a lot of ways for that jewel installation to go wrong. Bunch of ways. And I just don't want people to be like, crap, my freaking jewel that I just bought.
Well, I mean, that's
snapped.
their own fault.
I know.
I don't know.
I just feel responsible, which is ridiculous. People sell all kinds of crappy products that, are completely so many products and they're flat out dangerous, and people sell them. I can't stand the idea of that heartache, of that frustration, that regret of destroying a brand new part that you just got in. It's awful.
Wow.
It's awful. I can't stand it. One thing I did consider doing is, instead of the jewels, the next thing you can do, the next step up, is you actually get a bearing race. And those can be stainless steel. If you get a bearing race, because that's what the upper bearing is, it's a steel bearing race. Put a steel bearing race in the bottom, that does the job. And it's there. You can't destroy them. You can't crack them. There's nothing you can do to them. And they're quite strong. And Seiko actually used them in a few other models. Like the mainspring arbor for the 5126s, the upper arbor bushing is that one. If I could get them made, that would certainly be a good alternative.
Okay.
I don't know. You guys tell me what you think.
Hendrik Asherman. I have the watch matching your dad's horn button. A 1955
Laco, L-A-C-O.
Given to my grandfather by Volkswagen for doing 100,000 kilometers in a VW Type 2 without blowing the engine.
100,000 kilometers? Well, you could do it if you took care of them.
Okay.
Well,
I only speak in freedom units.
Well, no, the idea, 100,000 kilometers that's a long, long way. The thing with old Volkswagens and old air-cooled things is they're great. They're great, but man, you gotta stay on the maintenance with those things. If you don't stay on the maintenance, they won't do it. They'll die. So you gotta let it warm up for a good 5 minutes. In the winter, if it's cold, you need to put like a heat source or like a block warmer. Otherwise, they're not strong enough to turn the engines over. It's just one of those things. But taken care of, they will go forever. What?
It's 62,137 miles.
That's a lot of miles.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever driven that many miles.
What?
62,000 miles? I don't think I've driven that much in my life.
What, the cars, they end up getting like 250,000
Oh, you're
miles.
right. And I put 100,000 miles on the. Honey, I never leave town. What do I know? I forgot. I used to have a job that was like 50% travel outside of the house. And we bought the shiny car.
It was a 2009 Chevy Aveo.
It was. And we got it for a great deal because it was the test car for the review for, I don't know, some major automotive magazine. I forget. But I did. I pushed that thing up to 100,000 miles and then sold it. Mm-hmm. You're right. I forgot about that. I blocked out work. That old work. Anyway, Laco is a cool watch brand. Old pre-war German watch brand. They are most well known because they were one of the makers of the German Air Force's pilot watches. They also made a lot of the watches issued to combat soldiers. They would just be a simple three-hander with a, time, hour and minute, and then a sub-register with seconds, and fixed lugs. Laco made a lot of them. I've owned a few.
Okay.
Yeah, they're cool.
Did you show them the button?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't looking.
But anyway, it's really neat. Mm-hmm. That's really cool. I'm glad you have it. I'd love to see a picture.
Can I carry on?
Every day, in every way.
My wayward son. This one freaking killed me, and I know you put it in there for me.
I don't do anything.
You don't do anything?
I just work here.
Okay, from Tim Uchwat. Hi, Spencer. Happy Labor Day weekend of 2022.
Thank you. I spent the whole time sick or working on watches.
I'm gonna die. I'm really glad that you were the voice of Arnold on Hey Arnold.
Not many people know that.
I'm glad that
it was one of her favorite shows.
You have a YouTube channel. Your YouTube channel deserves to be #1 forever. Please let me know if there will be a Hey Arnold reunion and reboot. Someday I would love to see that happen. A happy late birthday and many more to come. Hey, there's a mail.
Yeah, the thing is I'm only the second most famous Spencer Klein. The first one, who is another person, not me, younger than me,
my age,
her age, was the voice of Hey Arnold, which was one of her favorite shows.
When I was like 9.
So maybe that's why you dug me. And there was some familiarity about my name that you were like,
Whatever.
Well, anyway, thank you.
I have a Gen X problem. That's my issue.
I have a Gen X problem too. That I'm a member of Gen X. Actually, it's not my problem. It's everybody else's problem.
Oh, really?
It's not my problem. It's not our problem. Well, we just want to be left alone. That's all we ever wanted.
Well, it's a good thing everybody forgot.
Did I ever tell you kids about the 60s? I don't care.
What? You tell the kids about the 80s.
The 80s matter. We're still living in the 80s. Pop culture is all over the 80s. Right now, it still has relevance. I don't care if you went to Woodstock. I never cared if you went to Woodstock.
But when I was in high school, the 60s and 70s were still relevant, and now they're not, and Sadie's in high school and the 80s are relevant.
Well, that's the way it was. And when I was in high school, Back to the Future came out, and 1955 from 1985 it made perfect sense. I mean, the movie came out, Mom and Dad were married in 56, so that was their time. So, I mean, I was ostensibly the same exact age as Marty McFly at that time, and my mom wasn't but a year or two off of what his mother would have been in that movie. So, and everybody was like, oh yeah, the 50s, you remember how that looked like? Look at that, it's a soda fountain. Yes, it's a soda fountain. At that time, we still had one in town, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the drugstore at corner of Mountain College, it was still there. The Walgreens had
the City Drug.
No, it wasn't. It was a major brand that was also City Drug.
Rexall?
No, it was one of those big old soda fountain drugstores you would go to right in the middle of town back in the day, you know, with the soda jerk and you're having your things, and that was there in the middle of town then, so, you know. Anyway.
Okay. Mike D, I know you two are Star Trek fans, but if you ever have the time, try playing Knights of the Old Republic. You guys might like it.
Well, I'll say I don't know much about Knights of the Old Republic except for the fact that it seems that if you're incautious enough to mention it around serious Star Trek gaming fans, Star Wars fans, you better clear your schedule for the rest of the afternoon. They love KOTOR. KOTOR is what they call it. They love Knights of the Old Republic. They think it's really, really, really cool.
Hold on, I'm trying to do something, I swear.
But I don't actually know much about I think it has, I don't know. It's part of the extended universe, I think. I don't know if it's canon.
Is it canon? I don't know. But I have it on my phone.
Wait, the game?
Yeah, I have both of them. I hate playing on mobile, so I've never finished. Also, I suck at that era of video games.
What is it? Oh, it's like the same age as Tomb Raider.
Just hit continue so you can see it. I don't care. I haven't played it.
Honey, we should figure out a way to do simulcast. What if you started playing games and simulcasting videos?
Ooh, I could play Stardew.
You could play Stardew. People would loading. No, seriously. This looks like. No, this is like higher end. No, it's like Halo. Maybe between Halo and the later Tomb Raider games.
Yeah.
Here, you want to show them?
I don't know.
I have a horn on my knee.
You have a horn? Oh, I thought you meant like an actual. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know how to play it. I suck.
Somewhere between the OG Halo and the later Tomb Raider, early Tomb Raider installations, not, giant poly pointy boobs.
Yeah.
Lara Croft.
That's it? You barely had any questions. It's wild.
I must have forgotten to take a whole bunch down. Was there anything else?
No.
That's crazy.
I know.
In any case, look for that shot of Anakin behind the scenes.
Why don't you just post it? Like, on the video.
Won't I get, arrested or something?
Why?
I don't know. What do I know? George Lucas, he's a litigious son of a bitch.
Yeah, he doesn't own Star Wars anymore.
That's not going to stop him. He's going to be like the eyeball man from Rick and Morty. What? I'm the eyeball man. Give me them eye holes. Those are my eye holes.
Wow.
That's what he sounds like.
Okay.
Anyway, one thing though, I want to talk about videos real quick. People were like, why don't you do more of the shorter videos? We talked about this last week, and that's what I'm going to do. I feel that I've gotten away from my roots. Trying to work too hard to please people and do what everybody else wants me to do and be more professional and get more longer videos and do all this stuff. It's killing me. I can't do it. I have to go back to the way that I'm used to doing it, which is fairly haphazard, totally unplanned, and with no preparation or editing. So that's what I'm going to get back to. The workflow is much more organized. For me putting out videos, everybody's just going to have to deal with it. The quality is going to be what it is. I'm not going to have any intro music, no dance numbers.
I can't. Oh wait, I can't
No
put on
CGI.
Disco Inferno because then when YouTube will yell at us because he was dancing before.
People getting loose, y'all.
Stop it. We're gonna get in trouble.
Dude, if anything, I've improved the song.
Oh really?
Yeah. Okay, so the very, 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 very last thing.
That is an American truck.
Yeah, it was like a worker man truck. Like it had like the thing for like the glass and the tools.
Yeah, but it had kayaks.
It had
in
kayaks
the
in it. I mean, it's Friday, but oh, hey, look, there's Amazon.
Hey, you were talking to them. You were talking to them.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. So this is the last thing, and this will also be a little separate video chunk. Okay, there. Now I can cut it. So this is the thing. You might have noticed that there's a lot of my watches being sold. We're selling a lot of watches. The reason for this is that it's also been killing me that I'm bored of my watches. Bored of my watch collection. Bored of the watches I've been trying to not hoard for all these years. Some of them are beautiful. A lot of them are irreplaceable. I don't care. I'm bored. I'm bored with them. I've decided it's time for drastic measures. I'm punching the eject button. I'm pulling the ripcord. If it's a watch I don't wear, it's gone unless we have some external consideration that forces me to not do that. Mm-hmm. So I'll tack in another piece to this video where we look at the different watches that I have. But basically, I'm selling damn near everything.
You've always said, I wish I could be just a 1 or 3 person watch.
Give me 3. Absolute maximum 5.
Wow.
I don't think I'm going to get to that, but it is ridiculous having 48 watch slots and I wear 3 watches. I don't care. If the watches are unique like this one, my slide rule, I built this watch. Other people who did the work were friends of mine, people I knew. So the watch is different, But some watches, they're beautiful and I just don't wear them. I don't want them. I don't want them here anymore. I want them to go away. I'm tired of it. I want to do new things and do different stuff and have different brands, and different models, and different.
Well, I mean, your hobby is your job, and you look at Seikos all day at your job.
I know, and I do love Seiko. I'm never gonna not love Seiko, but I'm just freaking bored. I've got to do something else, or I'm just gonna rip out my beard.
No.
I'm not gonna do that. So anyway, keep an eye out. All the watches that we're selling are going to go up on the website as we have time. Sabrina's been doing a lot of work. And we're just going to keep listing them. If you're looking for something specific that we aren't have, you can always ask. I may have it. I'm also going to be selling a lot more watches that are unserviced. So they may look cosmetically beautiful. I'll clean them up and make them look nice. But servicing takes a long time. So I'll be selling some nice watches that are unserviced at a price based on what the market has for what it is. And then if somebody buys it and they want to have it serviced, I can make that happen. It'll be for one of the 10 jobs because we're going to have this rolling 10 job thing. So that's a possibility too. But it also means that if you have somebody out there who can do their own work and they don't want to have to, wait or pay somebody else to do the work, buy it and have it done where you want it done. And so that's good. It's time to move on. To move on.
Okay.
That's about it. Did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, the middle schoolers are walking home, so the video is going to end up getting screamed cursing in it. So we should probably go.
Can you believe that our oldest daughter is in high school, and she says the kids are coming to school drunk, and the girls filled the girls' bathroom, and they're all vaping.
Oh, and they come to school high.
The
drunk thing kind of made me be like, what? Because, people were high when I was in school, but nobody came to school drunk.
They hadn't invented marijuana yet. When I was in school, none of that stuff existed.
Really?
Yeah, if you wanted to get, high, you had to, see if there's, see if there was a tall building around.
That was so lame. Okay, I'm ready to go.
Huh? Oh, lastly, this is going to be the last cool thing. My SUN 019, the Kinetic, the really big one. It's too big, but I finally, after all these years, I managed to get the aluminum shroud screws off. Man, I had to go ape to get them off, but I did it. And so the SUN 019, it's a bottle cap design. And I want to make lugs or something that I can use to basically bracelet equip this thing. Anybody has any suggestions? Please let me know. I'm starting to think about it. I just got this free today. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, folks, thank you. Wonderful weekend. Enjoy yourself. Don't let any vaping middle schoolers, disturb your Friday. And that's it.
Okay.
Bye.